Okay, I'm just beginning to give this old caravan its spring overlook service, and I thought I'd give a little update to a previous video that I did about the Adria caravan, and about what's happened over the last few years. The first thing to mention would be that perhaps the caravan almost didn't survive at all because I had a fire. Basically, I went to stop by the side of the A1 on the way to Scotland. Decided to make a cup of tea. Lit the burner. Burner was working fine, and all of a sudden the burner went low. I thought, oh, that's strange. And then the next thing I knew, out of these vents here, I had flames that were coming up about 18 inches. Forgetting that there was an isolation tap. Well, I couldn't turn the gas off here because obviously there was flames here. And then I forgot that there was an isolation tap in there. So basically I rushed out, went around to the front of the caravan, tried to turn the gas off, realised that I didn't have the key for the cupboard at the front, so then I had to run all the way back, pick up the keys, run all the way back, turn the gas off, and then when I come back in here I found out that this piece of timber was on fire, but thankfully I was able to damp it out with, as it happens, this tea towel, which has got a few scorch marks on it still. Oh, there's a few more scorch marks. So basically it was like, ooh, get rid of that fire there. Thankfully the fire went out and all's well. Okay, so what I'm saying is be careful. If you see the flames suddenly go weak, and to be honest with you, you hear a bit of a wind gushing sound, i.e. a gas leak, be warned that it could be coming from behind here, and you could, just like I did, have a major fire. Ended up having to sand this timber out to get rid of the burn marks, and I've painted this little section in here, and I think it works reasonably well. Anyway, there we go. So that's that. So that's working again, so that's good news. I don't know if I showed the gas fridge working last time. Here it goes anyway. So it's a camping gas gas fridge, which also has a 240 volts and 12 volts electrical system on it, which is how you would normally use it these days. But seeing as I am going to be off grid on my first camping trip, try and prove this works. This is a little bum I've had to make myself. So basically you've got this tube here which goes down to where the flame is, and what you do is you push this button in, and hopefully you can see the flame. I'll have to do it outside. So it's lit, because you see how when the button's coming out it's going, you can see the orange bit. Well, when it's lit, the orange bit, oh, I saw a flicker there. Does that mean it's, yes, there we go. So I'm holding the button in now, and then hopefully when I let go of the button, yeah, so let's see, I let go of the button now, the orange is not visible, and it is the smallest of smallest flames. It's almost just like a candle, but it's enough to make the fridge work, and it makes it work quite well. So once you establish that it's lit, you put the bung back in, and she's good to go. And then just to prove that the thermocouple safety mechanism's working okay, I will turn off the gas there, and then the flame should go out, and then the thermocouple should realise that the flame's gone out, and with a bit of luck should pop the safety out. and there she goes. So obviously if you either run out of gas or the flame was to blow out for some reason, okay, it takes about 20 seconds or so, but the gas cut off does kick in, so that's safe. There's a little button here which is designed to keep the door shut, I think, when the caravan's in transit, but I always leave it like that when the caravan's in storage, so that there's air getting through the caravan, through the ice box, through the fridge box. As you can see, it's not, it might look dirty, but it's more just stains of whatever and the plastic yellowing over the years. So it's not as bad as it looks. Right, what else have we got? Okay, so at the moment, I don't know if you can see that shadow inside the curtain, but that's a solar charger. So the solar charger is plugged into the 12-volt electrics, and that's what's maintaining the battery. But obviously when the caravan's in proper use, this is the thing that will be doing the battery charging. So right, switch that on. So I've got obviously no idea whether that is working or not. Is the little red light on? Yes. So let's hope that's working anyway. This is a polarity reverser, just in case. I don't know why you go to a site with the wrong polarity, but it's there anyway. Showing a green light, so that's good. This is an isolator for the radiator. When I'm not using the solar charger, I plug in this, and it gives me a 12-volt socket for phone chargers and the like, if need be. So that's that. What I'm intending on using this year is this old black and white television, 12-inch, which I'll be using in conjunction with this RF modulator and this digital set-top box. So that's my television solution. That under there is obviously a spare wheel, spare tyre, sorry, but I do need to find a wheel. But at least it means that if we have a blowout on the road and someone comes out to have a look at it, at least we don't have the conversation, well, we haven't got a tyre in stock, because I've got the tyre. But ideally I do need to find a wheel. Apart from that, everything else is looking just fine. Okay, so someone tried to climb over the caravan, and I don't know if you can see, but they've basically pushed a big hole in the top, and they've cracked all along here, all along here, all along here, and there was basically just a big hole here. The crack goes all the way to the other side. Obviously the caravan's not worth spending massive amounts of money on repair work, so basically there's now a sheet of plastic underneath here, and it's screwed in a rather haphazard way, but for now it'll do. Okay, the Adria caravan has got this suspension shock absorber arm, which as you can see is welded onto the wheel hub. That's what it's supposed to look like. Okay, so this is the broken side. As you can see, it's broken down there. My rather amateurish welding, I've currently welded a plate onto the back, and the idea is that I'm now going to try and weld that together, and hopefully it'll survive a little bit longer than the last temporary repair did. As you can see, the shock absorber goes on there, and makes it work. I'm not 100% sure why it really needs a shock absorber, because I'm under the impression that this is an elastic suspension system, and if so, it should have damping properties. And with this being a particularly lightweight caravan, I can't see what the problem is. But anyway, my amateur welding is going to have another go at this. Recently found some paperwork that originally came with the caravan. This is the chassis, Alcor. This is the manual for the battery charger. Okay, right. Well, something I found quite interesting. Well, you might find it quite interesting, I don't know. Is this little control panel here? The way it works is that this is the button for the outside light. Okay. This is the button for the main lighting. Okay. This is the button for the water isolator, and this is the button for the cooker hood lamp, which is under there. The only strange thing is though that doesn't really look like a cooker hood symbol, and it looks more like a symbol for the outside light, which would have been originally this one here. Now, it would make sense therefore that should have been the outside light and that should have been the cooker hood light, but I see why now they've been swapped. This is a caravan that was made, I want to say in Czechoslovakia, I'm not 100% sure now, but it's made somewhere in Europe, Eastern Europe. So it would have been, it would have had the door on the other side of the caravan, which means that this entire panel would have been on this side with the door here. That being the case, the door would have been here, which would have made having that switch as the outside light actually correct, and it would have made more sense therefore to have that as the cooker hood switch. But when they've made this vehicle for the UK and therefore right hand drive vehicles, that's obviously too far away from the door now to be practical, so they've swapped these two switches around, but they haven't changed the little symbol. So there you go, that's my thoughts on that subject. Other than that, I think she's good to go. So bring on 2023. Oh, before I go, it's only taken me all these years to realise what this symbol is. It's obviously the Adria logo and an A, but it's also in the shape of a caravan. There's the front of the caravan with a wheel. Yeah, hiding in plain sight.